morning, Hallowed family. This is After Dawn, the show where we sit down to have a cup of coffee with the cast, crew, and creators behind the Hallowed Haven Studios production. I'm Tink, filling in for Grizz, and I'm joined by my co-host, Bloodied Porcelain.
Yes, hello. I'm Bloodied Porcelain, and today we're talking about Vampire the Masquerade, City of Smoke, Episode 1, London Calling. Episode 1 introduced us to 4 different Thin Bloods from various walks of life across the city of London in the middle of New Year celebrations. We met Gabriel, who seems to be somehow involved with the Giovanni. We met Ivy, who seems to be something of a party girl. Alannah, who immediately got her heart ripped out in the first episode. And we met Alexander, who went to a bar and got flirted with and got given a card for an all-inclusive fight club, let's say. Some rumors were dropped, hints of dangers on the horizon, maybe some future SPC appearances. And some guy named Big Mike kept coming up. I don't know who the heck that is, but we'll have to see. But my opinion is not the only one here. What are your thoughts, Tink?
Well, I was definitely intrigued and mystified and want to know more about all the things. There are too many things to describe, but mine is not the only opinion here today. We are joined by Aidon and Aubrey. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Aidon, I know you're new to HHS live shows, but you've been part of a special pre-recorded show we've been working on in the background for a while. How are you enjoying getting more and more integrated into the HHS community?
Oh my god. I'm loving it. I mean, as a forever, DMST, I'm getting to actually play, and that is huge for me. So I'm absolutely loving kind of diving into all these new characters. And like you said, I'm already in a background game right now, but the two different characters that I'm playing are very different. One doesn't know when to shut up, and one doesn't know when to speak up. So they're very different.
They do seem to be two sides of a weird coin.
Aubrey, this is your second HHS show. How is this experience differing from your experience on Wayfair, and how are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it a lot. It's different for me simply because with Wayfair, I came in with season 2. There was already kind of an established story and an established characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to come in from the beginning and sort of like help build the story of the world. Whereas with Wayfair, I kind of came in and it was just like, okay, what's going on? How does my character fit into everything? And like, how do I affect the story in the world?
Yes.
Very cool. On that note, when it comes to building out the story and building out the world, all of our World of Darkness games share the same setting. So how did being a part of Wayfair and maybe seeing some of the other World of Darkness stuff that we've done impact your choices when it came to making Alannah?
Honestly, I kind of took an idea that I didn't use for Wayfair. I had 2 character ideas when I came on, and I ended up choosing Isabel. But I had this idea for this, this tattoo artist who was like leaning into the magic and stuff. And then I just went, and then I got this, and I just went, I can use this.
All right, pretty cool.
Is there anything in particular you're excited for in playing a Thin Blood, you guys?
Ooh. Oh god. Well, I was always really scared of the Thin Blood kind of choice. I've never really experimented with them very much. So when I kind of got this opportunity, I was excited to dive in, But they're I mean, the best way to describe them, they're yeah, they're rats. You know, they're little rats, little street rats. And I'm kind of loving it, you know, just being that little street rat that's running around the place, just helping here, being mischievous and getting into the dirt of things. And I can see them being kind of like the backbone of every vampire city, and that's really exciting.
Mhm. Yeah, the Thin Bloods are always like little scrappy little things, and they're always. I played one in a like a chronicle that lasted like 8 months, and like
Oh.
so it is kind of fun to play another one again from like the beginning and sort of like know things now, and just being like, okay, yeah, no, this is how I'm gonna play a completely different character. Like I actively like was like, okay, I'm gonna not choose the same merits and flaws that I did before. I'm gonna build a completely different character. My Thin Blood I played in a thing was pretending to be a Ventru for the longest time. So
Oh.
I leaned very hard into being the face of the group and stuff. I'm still Alana is still probably going to be the face of the group, but like in a
Mhm.
different way. She's more interested in blood magic. But yeah, I love Thin Bloods, and I wonder if any of us are going to discover what happens when you Diablerize somebody.
Oh, that would be interesting.
That certainly is a question. You guys get to play the very scrappy but very small fish in what is turning out to be a very large pond that you've
Yep.
been thrown into.
Mhm.
Which I'm very excited to see how that goes. I can't wait to see which factions show up and how you guys interact with everybody. Um,
Yeah.
what was the inspiration behind each of your characters? I mean, we kind of got into that a little bit with Aubrey, but
Ooh, well, I'm a big fan of like classic monsters, and you know, like Doctor Frankenstein, and I'm also a big nerd for anime. So I
Hmm.
took the inspiration of, you know, classic Dr. Frankenstein and also Frankenstein from Soul Eater, and I kind of just merged them together, and that's what
A
I was
good
going
choice.
for, but very less shouty, more very quiet and unstable, and just ready to kind of snap in under the right circumstances. Um, and that was my inspiration of Gabriel.
Nice.
he also seems like the type who is kind of like not accustomed to having people willing to interact with him and not really knowing how to handle the idea that people might actually like him.
Yeah, and that's I mean, you let me know. Am I allowed to kind of give a little sneak peek into his backstory a little bit?
Sure, you're allowed to reveal as much as you want as long as you're not like spoiling the overarching story, which you can't because you don't know it. So
Well, yeah. Well, the way I rate Gabriel is that he struggled as a kid, kind of making friends and making connections, because he was diagnosed with, you know, that a bit of a double dose of attention deficit disorder and also big time OCD. Um,
Mm.
and with his both his parents being doctors themselves, both of them really helping him to use them less as a disability but more like a strength, and kind of focusing that energy on certain things that helped him kind of become a doctor and weirdly enough dive into some more occult dark things later in life. Um, and yeah, that's kind of why he struggles to make connections. And the only real connections he's been able to make so far was with his family, a professor, and monkeys. As not a lot of people know this. Well, no one really knows this, but Gabriel used to work in a animal testing lab, and that's where he kind of bonded with monkeys, and that's kind of why he decided to leave that part of his life behind and not experiment on them, instead wanting to have one as a companion, and that kind of leads into the story of how Gabriel gets introduced into this story.
Huh. Very
I
cool.
love that. What about you, Aubrey? Other than making the character the opposite of your old character.
I was making a bit of. I was reading a book around the time that like I got cast in this and like really started to flesh out the idea. I was reading Clipped Wings by Helena Hunting, which is just honestly best described as Romeo and Juliet in a tattoo parlor.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah, it's a good book. It's like a duology. I think there are more that involve other characters in the tattoo parlor, but like the first two books, they're pretty good. You know, if you enjoy that kind of thing and sort of like the idea of a tattoo artist and then sort of looking at Thin Bloods and then going for, okay, you know, do something different. I love the Tremere, so let's poke that bear and see what happens. And then from there, it was just sort of kind of collecting things, figuring out like, okay, like what am I going to bring to this character? Like, oh, she's married, and you know, is dealing with the fact that she can't be with the person she loves. Like everyone loves a good tragedy.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love that.
Yes. So what can you tell us about how your characters were embraced? Like, was it random, or did they know their sires? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. What happened?
Yeah, for Alannah, it was random. It was very random what happened. The story I've written down is Alannah and her husband had a fight. And it was bad, and she kind of just left the apartment to cool off.
Mhm.
You know, and just was kind of like walking around London, and she just met this kind of professor-like dude, and kind of started talking to him. And then, you know, things go a little dark and she wakes up as a Thin Blood.
Oh.
Yeah. And so like the whole thing is her husband thinks she's probably like dead. You know, like she went missing. She's a missing person. So it is even more tragic because it's not just like, you know, I'm breaking up with you for some reason. It's no, he thinks I'm dead. Because it's been 6 months and I've been missing. So most people would think, yeah, if someone's missing after 6 months, they're dead.
Oh, that's so sad.
Either dead or they think that you like just fucking ghosted them and bailed.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not from the UK, so it's like she's initially from California, and they met when she was living in California, and then she moved to the UK with him.
Missing persons report.
Yep. So it's like, oh, we can definitely tell she never boarded a plane back to the US.
Love that. All right.
What about Gabriel?
Gabriel was a little bit more targeted. Like I said, in later life, he started to kind of go down the route of focusing his energies into the more occult, as in some ways, medicine kind of failed him with what he was trying to do. And while he was working at the hospital that he's working at now, as you could see, the Hecata, you know, they have their fingers in the medical industry, and that it got known that Gabriel was looking into these types of things, and that kind of made him a target for a an interested party. And yeah, he got turned, hoping to be a new, you know, recruit, already having his mindset in, you know, rituals and things like that, or ceremony, should I say. But unfortunately, he was a Finblood, so gross, ew, and his side didn't really want to deal with that. So he went to go get, you know, cigarettes and milk from the corner shop.
Lovely.
That kind of ties into your Frankenstein story. I created it, but I don't want it.
Love
exactly.
Branching off of that, do you think that Gabriel's personality shifted at all after his embrace? Do you think it changed him?
I think that it made him even more kind of, you know, what he was, it just kind of put it up to 11. And that means, the drive that he has to complete his work is even more powerful now than ever. The awkwardness that he felt, as a human, he's even more awkward now as a kindred or half kindred. He is, everything just got dialed up a little bit more, and probably not so good in his favor as he is an acquired taste. And I think that kind of, boosted that acquired taste just a little bit more.
For what it's worth, I very quickly came to adore him. He very,
Yes!
very quickly became one of my favorite characters.
I want to hug him.
It might be a little bit because my spawn is on the spectrum, and there's parts of Gabriel's personality that remind me of my kid. But I wanted to mom him so hard. This is a problem. No, I love that. Has Alannah's personality shifted at all since her embrace?
Yeah, I actually think so. I think before her embrace, she was probably a lot more headstrong. She's from LA. She in like bits of her backstory that I've written is she used to do like street art, street tagging and stuff before she became a tattoo artist. She has like a dot of fame on her sheet. So like there's like it's kind of also balancing the I'm supposed to be a missing person in rather than some people kind of know me because I'm a like I've made my name being a tattoo artist. And I think with Dami and her sire, it's kind of tempered her hot-headedness a little bit by it's like, okay, to learn blood magic, I actually I have to be I can't rush into this.
Right.
And rushing into things is definitely kind of what caused her death and embrace. So, it's a little bit of just like, you know what, maybe this wasn't my best, thing in life. And hard to change when you're dead, but gonna try. And kind of just like, okay, I actually have to like think things through now.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
So,
I dig that.
Yes. So, hubby took off his ring. How is Alannah feeling about that? It's like upset, relieved, but both, wanting to murder.
Because I wrote about it in the journal entry that I wrote. Whereas she's like, I should be happy. I should be happy he's trying to move on and like trying to forget me. But no, I'm not happy. I'm very unhappy with this.
Especially knowing how things were left. I'm just like, that cad.
He did. I mean, 6 months is pretty quick to move on, especially when you don't have confirmation one way or the other if someone's dead. I'd be pretty upset.
Did you even look?
Yeah, there is a bit where it's just like, is he just doing it? Like, is he actually doing this, or did he just not want people to ask about the ring? There's like a little rational part of her brain that's like speaking up, and she's ignoring it. And there is, am I going to make a lot of mistakes in later episodes? Yes, she is going to get very emotional about things, and it's going to cause problems.
Good.
I love that. I love that for her. As somebody who has been the storyteller for you when your characters do rash things, getting to pull out a stick that you didn't even know was there and beat you with it. Oh, I'm so excited. This is a question for both of you. What was your favorite moment or quote from the show?
Ooh.
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, mine was absolutely, "You like me?" Like,
that
just
was a good
broke,
moment.
broke
poked
my
my
heart.
That me too. But the one that like made me about die laughing was fire is not a plan. I was like, ah!
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
was
to
a good
think.
one.
There was a few good ones.
Mhm.
Yes, there were.
I really loved everyone's like little vignettes and stuff because like the only one I knew like I knew a little bit about Gabriel and Ivy from session 0, but like I wasn't there for their 0.5s, so like I didn't know that much. I knew whatever we said in session 0, so it was actually kind of nice to just be able to like, okay, so that's what they're like. Because like all I knew was there was gonna be a monkey and Ivy's a problem. That's all I knew going into this.
I mean, to be fair, Ivy is a termite character, and termite characters are just always a problem.
Oh, exactly. But you know, it was like, okay, so we're going more party girl and less hacker criminal. Okay, cool.
I mean, still
You know
kind of
what?
a criminal. She stole a
Yeah.
monkey. She let a bunch of animals loose in the city.
It's true.
In the process, she deals
Mhm.
drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
Still very much a criminal.
Still
Just
very
not a
much a criminal.
hacker.
Just not a hacker. Not that different flavor of criminal. So
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah, no, I loved getting to actually like these little insights into everyone. Yeah, you guys like me. That moment. Like, I'm very glad we didn't have video on because that kind of broke me for a second.
Oh,
Like
it poked my heart.
in that I was not expecting Gabriel to say that in that moment, and you could tell on my face.
Oh,
Yeah, I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was. It's such a small moment, but I loved it so much because it was the epitome of my character as like just so awkward, and that was him asking in front of this higher up, this Hakata higher up, you know, look what I've trained him to do. The monkey, go fetch me the scalpel, and the monkey just going up above him and literally dropping the scalpel on his face is, and him just standing there in front of his higher up and just, oh, okay, that just happened. It is
That was a good moment.
such a small moment, but it like envelops my character so much.
I love
So
cadaver.
incredibly cute. Oh my god. I think for me, because during the episode, I was watching chat and I was doing something else on my other monitor, and I was really like intensely focused on what I was doing on my other monitor, and that "you like me" moment happened, and I completely stopped what I was doing, which screwed up what I was working on. Like, it was just like everything, my whole world stopped.
Aw.
It was like my heart broke, and I was just like, "Oh, baby, I just want to fix him."
Gabriel was surprised. It's probably the first time someone said that to him in a very long time, and he was very surprised.
I love that.
Aw.
I look forward to a
so
chance to actually like have our characters interact on like one-on-one for like a scene or something.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for all of the like interpersonal drama that's eventually going to come up with this group, because you could tell there's going to be a lot.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to like Ivy dragging Alannah out to a party. It's kind of like one thing I actually kind of want to happen. I'm like, that's gonna be fun.
I'd like to see Ivy take all of you to parties.
Yes, that too. I think we'll all have different reactions, and I think Alannah may be the only one that would like kind of be like, hell yeah. Everyone else, I feel like is like, if I have to.
I think after our first mini session, I said to Legacy that, Gabriel is the guy who's sat quietly in the corner reading a book, and Ivy is that friend that comes up behind and just says, "Here, drink this," without any explanation. And that is
Hey,
Ivy.
drink this and don't ask questions.
Yeah, that checks out.
Exactly.
Love that.
Oh my gosh, I can't picture her taking Gabriel to a party. That's gonna be the best thing ever.
I can picture it, and that's why I'm pretty sure it's going to be the best thing.
She already did technically in the mini session that we did. Gabriel did not enjoy it, and she got him to take drugs.
Yeah.
Because he owed Gabriel believed that he owes Ivy now, and I'm actually going to talk with the player as well. Just over that, I think Gabriel should owe her like a boon in some way for getting his monkey. And yeah, he took Ash, and
It went
he
poorly,
did
apparently.
not. Yeah, he did not like it at all.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm so excited for that. Please have that have the follow up for that happen on screen because I'm dying.
Yes.
All right, well, we've kind of already started to slip into our third segment of the show, which is the Spilling the Tea segment. This section of the show is freeform. Questions tend to be tailored towards the WTF moments of the episode, controversies, rumors, hints of love interests, etc. In this section, we invite our guests to ask each other any pressing hard questions they might have, or to ask questions of us as the interviewers, or even to pose questions that we ask in future episodes of other people, including Legacy, the storyteller, though it might be a bit before we get to interview them.
And still write it down.
Yeah. God,
Oh
yeah.
God, some
Rock, paper,
questions.
scissors.
What would be a good one to ask Legacy in the future? Why? Oh God, why?
Yeah, the other option was, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one for sure.
I feel like both of those are going to come up frequently.
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck gets asked a lot during this section, and it's always of the storyteller who's never here to answer it.
Oh, of course. But, you take this question and apply it to every possible situation.
What the heck's up with that?
Here's a question I'd like someone to ask Legacy is how many of her NPCs are based on people she knows in her real life?
Oh, that's a good question. Definitely ask them that.
Because I think Pixie, the NPC Pixie, is based on someone.
Quite possible.
I'm writing that down.
I would like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, so it's like I just want to know like more about everyone's backstories because, like, yet again, I only know my backstory, and like I'm just very excited to like learn, especially like more about Alexander or more about Ivy's backstories. I want to know.
I'm curious. How does Alannah feel about the fact that Ivy's responsible for the animals running all over the city?
It's more of a. It definitely feels like it's a. Yeah, that checks out. It kind of feels like, and it's an exasperation where it's just like, come on, couldn't you have been like a little bit more like covert about it? Like, this feels like it could be easily traced back to us, and we're already kind of like, we're the small fish.
Tiny fish, big pond.
Yeah.
I love Cadaver so much, though.
People are not. It's totally people are going to just notice us walking around with a monkey.
There's going to be fan art.
Every show that we have had where somebody has had an animal or three in some cases, the animal has ended up more popular than the PCs.
Yeah.
I'm already picturing Ben.
In Wayfair, everybody loves Gozer more than the rest of the PCs. In Apotheosis, they love
the Tiny God Squad.
The Tiny God Squad more than the player character. Something tells me that when the dust settles and everybody is dead, Cadaver will still be there.
Yeah,
with scalpel in hand. So I'm just picturing the old Sweeney Todd t-shirt where it's like, at last my arm is complete again.
Well, at the end of this, I want Cadaver to have like a little lab coat and a little like face mask and a little scalpel, So if that happens, I'll be very happy.
That is the sound of 1,000 pens drawing.
I had the very morbid mental image of everybody like laying dead around Cadaver and Cadaver finally getting it right in the passing over the scalpel.
Oh, Why you gotta do that to my heart?
Because I'm a storyteller and I think of that stuff.
I
Look.
love it.
I think you know what, it's our first episode of this. You know, I think we should give a little bit of spoilers coming in the future. Yes, Cadaver is Mithras reborn. It's confirmed. He is Mithras, guys. It's easy to see.
Okay, so is Cadaver a he, a she, a they? Because we go back and forth.
Yeah, it has gone
Well,
back and forth a
so-
lot.
Honestly, it has not been confirmed at this moment. I think they are a they.
Whichever
just
way the wind
because,
blows.
yeah, they've been called he, they've been called she. So honestly, at this point, honestly, whatever you want, I would say, whichever makes you happy.
I think it's whichever
love
makes
that.
Cadaver happy.
Exactly.
I dig that. I dig that so much.
Yeah.
Any questions
I
for
will
each other?
s-
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, the fact that your character works at the tattoo shop, I found that very interesting. And this might be spoilers. I'm not sure if I should ask
Go
this.
for it. Ask
But
it.
I know that there are some rules out there about, you know, tattoos on kindreds.
Mhm.
Have you thought about with your character maybe them, you know, being a tattoo artist for kindreds and with blood magic and making it permanent, that type of stuff?
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
definitely something I thought about. And Steal the Brand, I think, is like only like a level 1 blood sorcery ritual. So I think at some point during the season, I'm gonna try and pick it up.
Yes.
I think my first blood sorcery ritual will be Clinging of the Insect, simply because of the necklace that she got at the end of her little vignette.
You did just get handed the
Mhm.
tools for it, so
Yep. It makes the most sense.
I mean, at this point, you being a tattoo artist, I mean, you've got to design like a group tattoo that we all get at some point, right?
I guess.
True.
I guess
All
I
the
do.
characters just
Interesting.
have the same tattoo.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to dump molten silver on everybody because that's how Steal the Brand works.
Nice.
Ow.
Tink is like, no.
I don't even have any tattoos. I'm too scared, but I want one.
I love
have
them.
quite a bit of
They feel-
tattoos.
They feel good. They do. I enjoyed getting my tattoos. So
Someday I'll work up the nerve.
My a friend of mine, a close friend, just got a dinosaur skull tattoo going all the way down his arm, and
Oh.
it took him like 8 hours in the chair, all in one go.
Oh Jesus! I did 6.5
Yeah.
for the outline of my sleeve, and that was that was exhausting.
that does sound exhausting. I think. See, mine went in phases. And I think my longest phase was 6 hours, and that was really
Yeah.
tiring. Like I was fine, but I was exhausted afterwards. I was just like, okay, I need a nap.
Mhm. Yeah.
Does Alannah have any tattoos or significant tattoos that you can think of?
Alannah has a couple of tattoos. She has on her chest this sort of like flower design. On her I'm remembering the art, so I have to remember to flip it around. On her left arm, she has this kind of like swirling sort of freeform design that I saw on like Pinterest, and I really liked the design for, so I chose that specifically. And then she's got like a skull design that's on her right arm, and then there's like, and yes, no, there is one on her, like under the underbust. It's like a bat hanging upside down with like a little moon underneath it.
Oh.
And then she has this like sort of hexagonal pattern on her leg, but 2 of those are not in the art. Well, the little moon is in the art if you notice it.
Now I gotta look. Does Gabriel have any tattoos?
No tattoos,
Yet.
just mental scars. You know, that's it.
Oh,
No tattoos
That and
yet.
eating people. That's
okay. Why the liver and not the kidney?
all.
You don't. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
So you're talking about me why eating
Yeah,
them.
why was he craving the liver but not the kidneys?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure I said he had a craving for the kidneys,
Oh wait.
and then he took the
Sorry.
liver.
Oh wait. Sorry, it was the other way around. I apologize. Why the kidney and not the liver?
If I could be wrong, but if I
No.
remember right, I think I said he had a craving for kidneys,
Yes.
and he chewed on those in front of the because he is very awkward in front of people.
Yes.
He chewed
Yes.
on that in front of the higher up, and the liver I believe was infected some way. And that's why he kind of just took that out and put it away in a lunchbox.
Sure, that's
Not
not going to
sure-
have any bearing on the plot whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with said liver, but it's going to come up. Definitely going to come up soon. But yeah, he just had a craving for kidneys, and he missed lunch, so he just had to snack down a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
I love it.
That was fun. But yeah, you were right. It was the kidney. I wrote it down correctly. I just said it wrong.
Any other questions for each other or for us?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Go if you have a question.
No, it's hard because it's the first episode.
Yes.
I'm sure when we get into it, there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot more questions. I guess for you guys, a question for you guys. We've talked about favorite moments, but so far from what you've seen, do you have any favorite NPCs?
I haven't seen too many of them.
No.
I like Pixie and I like Alannah's boss.
Yes, tattoo mom.
She does have mom
Ariana,
energy.
I believe her name
Ariana,
was.
yes.
Samitsi tattoo
That's
mom,
it.
yeah.
I love her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I was a little shocked to find out that there was a Zamitzi. They're rare. They're not something you run into every day. So having someone casually knocking around London was a little surprising.
And knowing the Samitsi compulsion, and I'm like, this puts some things in a different light involving Alannah and her boss.
Yep.
For those who don't know, it's like to control and or like collect possession.
Oh.
They get incredibly tied to people, places, or things.
I did not know this.
And things go poorly. So imagine somebody buying your shop out from underneath of you.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that was my first thought. My first thought was, uh-oh.
Yep. Someone's about to become a chair.
Do you have any questions for the other players who are not here?
I guess my question to Ivy would be, why? Why is Ivy becoming this drug baroness of London? What is her plans for the future? Is it just money? Is it power? Is it protection so she, can't get hurt by anyone? That type of thing.
Ooh.
Love that. Although I feel like she might be in the wrong line of work if it is to avoid getting hurt.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know everybody else's like predictions. Like, do you have a prediction for season 1? Like, what do you think is like just wild, predictions? Like, is like, what do you think we're gonna do?
I would like to know what you guys think is going to happen, because that's a really good question. So if I have to pose that to the other players, I'm now going to pose it to you.
I mean, I'll gladly answer it. I definitely think that the Sabbat are going to be a very big thing. I mean, and we are probably going to have to, like, over the course of the first season, at least get information and like start forming a plan to do something about the Sabbat. And I'm also very interested to learn more about the kindred that my sire is bringing into the domain. And like, are they all is they all Tremere, or is, because I don't know if I've ever, like, I've had talked a little bit about like Damien with Legacy, but I kind of just sort of was like, here's the vibes, go and create something. Like, I don't want to know too much. And it's like, kind of like, want to learn a little bit more, is like, is Damien an Anarch, or is he Camarilla, you know? Because I will say that I have dots from the Karna lore sheet.
What are this?
Ooh.
House Karna is there's like Tremere have like, there's technically really just the pyramid, and then there's a bunch of splinter factions. Karna is one of those splinter factions, House Karna. And it's sort of,
wasn't Karna the reason why the pyramid isn't the pyramid anymore?
Kinda. I mean, I think Goretrix was a little bit more responsible for that. Karna just went, I really don't like the patriarchy. It's long and short of Karna. And then Karna was like, oh, you're all following me? Okay.
Ain't that just the way?
Love that so much.
I think my predictions would be, again, the Sabbat seems to be a big looming threat. And maybe this is like the underdog story that a bunch of ragtag, group of Thin Bloods all come together and somehow get the Anarchs and the Camarilla to stop fighting each other and focus their attentions, these old ones that are coming, maybe on the Sabbat. And, when all that fails, they just call up the SI to come back in and wipe everyone out again because, hey, they survived the first wave, so maybe they can do it again.
I mean, I think it's a strong thing to say that they survived. Like, y'all are new. You didn't survive that. You were human when that happened.
True.
No, that's good. I like that. I'm curious to see how you guys end up handling the Sabbat thing. Because y'all got some dire warnings, yeah? Like if one of the old ones if one of the old ones is here, it's already too late, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was spooky.
We're like fucking like to the rest of kindred kind. We're just children. You know,
you're toddlers.
Yeah. Like, what are we supposed to do against an elder vampire? Die, apparently.
Let alone an elder Sabbat.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but what I do know makes me go, ugh.
I have 1 dot of blood sorcery. That's it. And it's just corrosive vitae.
Wonderful. So good. Okay. Anything else anybody wants to ask? Messages you want us to pass on to your fellow players or your storyteller? Actually, I do have one more question. Who do you think Bane is?
Well, he's from Batman, right?
Yeah.
He's from Batman.
I think I wrote in my journal that if he makes a joke about being born in darkness, I was going to rip out his spleen and give it to Gabriel.
Ooh, a treat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Spleen.
I also think that Bane is probably being played by one of the SPCs.
Ooh.
I think Bane might be someone from the Camarilla or the Anarchs who is coming back into the city in hopes of trying to reform their group a little bit. Yeah, that's my prediction.
I could definitely see either Camarilla or Anarchs. I would probably lean slightly more Camarilla because Camarilla definitely feels like they've got like a lot more money behind it, and buying up all of this real estate feels very Camarilla.
I mean, if it is Sabbat, then, it's time to let go of your tattoo shop.
Oh.
I don't know if Arya can let go of her tattoo shop. That's the thing.
Well, Arya is a dragon, and they are traditionally Sabbat.
I really hope she's not Sabbat.
Wouldn't that be fun to find out?
That would be a plot twist.
I love
what
it.
A twist. All right. Anything else? Last call.
I don't have anything else.
You're all awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I've already put a question out for Legacy and for Ivy.
I have asked for predictions for season 1.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you both for joining us. And for those of you listening at home, thank you as always. These episodes are dropped Thursdays at noon for our $5 and up tiers on our Patreon. They are released to the public a month after that. So think about subscribing so you can be up to date with your talk news for Hallowed Haven Studios. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.